The Kuwait municipality was established on April 13, 1930, after Sheikh Yusuf bin Isa al-Jna'i visited Bahrain in July of 1928, where he saw the Bahrain municipality, which was established in 1919, and after that, he wrote an article titled Sharia Governance in the History of Municipalities, after which the idea of establishing a municipality was proposed to the late ruler of Kuwait, Sheikh Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, who was convinced of the idea and agreed to establish the Kuwait municipality to contribute to the responsibility of advancing the country in various health and social fields and to carry out its activities through an elected municipal council that takes care of the interests of citizens. A year after the municipality was established, the municipality law was issued. Its first article stipulated that the municipal council should consist of 12 members and a president. The municipality of Kuwait, since its inception, possesses an independent personality. It has its own systems and laws. The municipal council used to play the role of planning, directing, and controlling, and the director of municipality and the executive body carried out and executed the works.
The municipal council and Kuwait municipality both were established in the early 30s. The president of the municipal council was also the president of the municipality at that time, and the municipality was considered as a local government which was responsible for all duties of the current ministries. So it was like a small council of ministers at that time, and we take into consideration the small size of the country and the small size of a population that went with the huge growth in the 40s and 50s by the increase in the modernization, changing to the modern country and the oil exploration. So this expansion was then related and converted to the current ministries and the current Council of Ministers.
The municipality is concerned with cleaning, monitoring, and collecting fees. The municipality's headquarters was in a small office inside a rented store in the market. In 1933, the municipality moved its headquarters in Safa Square. The old municipality building continued until the year 1954. When a new law was issued, the first article stipulated that the municipality have a wise personality, with financial independence working to advance the city in urban, health, social, and civil development, so that the municipal council exercises the authority of supervision and direction. As for the executive authority, it is exercised by the head of the municipality and with the assistance of the director of the municipality. The executive body consists of administrative, financial, technical, and health affairs departments. At the end of the 50s, a Supreme Council was formed in the country, which included heads of departments, government in Kuwait, and some of those with opinion and experience.
General talk, if we talk about the municipality, Kuwait municipality and the municipal council are both the oldest organization in Kuwait, and the municipality council is the oldest elected organization in Kuwait. Municipality started back in 1930. After 2 years, the first election of municipality council, and from that date, the role of municipality started and continued until now. Municipality is governing the master plan of Kuwait, master development plan of Kuwait, and also like pushing all the development projects ahead, because the municipality role mainly planning and also let's say licensing all the projects, so that any development project, any operational project that's been done in Kuwait since 1930 till now, it has to be approved by the municipality, and it has to be from the beginning reviewed and verified by Kuwait municipality. Municipality council was good driver for the development process in Kuwait. Since 1930 until now, so many things happen. The shape of Kuwait changed. And continuing, the municipality issued 3 master plan for Kuwait along the history of municipality, and now we are preparing the fourth master plan for Kuwait. This master plan, the municipality is trying to synergize the social aspect and the economical aspect toward achieving the goals of new Kuwait development plan. And beside the municipality has developed the government itself. So many governmental authorities been established from the municipality. For example, the Authority of Agriculture, it was part of municipality before. The Authority of Industry, it was part of municipality before. Even the Authority of Environment was part of the municipality before. So let's say the municipality is the mothers for so many government agents and authorities in Kuwait.
At this stage, laws were drawn up, including the Municipality Law of 1960, the second article of which stipulated the following: that the municipality work to advance Kuwait in urban and health way by organizing and beautifying the city, protecting public health, ensuring food safety, preserving public comfort in housing and roads, and taking measures that lead to progress Kuwait and ensure welfare for its inhabitants. The Municipal Council is considered one of the most important pillars for achieving the municipality's general policies because it has a clear role in several areas, which include drawing up policies, developing plans, and deciding projects in everything related to the tasks and areas of the municipality's urban, environmental, health, and other activities. Monitor the implementation of laws and regulations related to public health, organization, buildings, expropriation, temporary appropriation of public benefit, division of lands and public stores, worried about risk and harm to health, and street vendors, and issuance of licenses for all those in cooperation with other relevant authorities and other laws and regulations related to public municipality facilities. Reporting projects and their locations in urban affairs, beautifying cities, villages, islands, roads, streets, squares, and their expansion, sewers, gardens, afforestation, setting up regulations for advertisements, and everything that leads to beautifying the city and preserving its splendor. Deciding on the public benefit accordance to the conditions established by the expropriation and temporary seizure of public benefit law. Report on the establishment of markets, slaughterhouse, and cemeteries, and setting their regulations. Label neighborhoods and streets. Express an opinion in advance on every commitment on monopoly placed on the exploitation of public utility within the limits of the municipality's jurisdiction. Overseeing procurement deals and public works related to the municipality and over contracts that imply financial rights or obligations for the municipality. Discussing the budget for the new fiscal year and the closing account for the ending fiscal year and approving them before submitting them to the competent authorities. Considering the suggestions submitted to it by the government or members of the council regarding municipality affairs and issuing its decisions regarding these suggestions. Laying down regulations for the internal systems of municipal affairs and for organizing the work of the municipal council. Drawing up general structural plans, district plans, creating and organizing residential, commercial, industrial, and other areas, as well as making the necessary changes in the use of land. Organizing and distributing organizational plots, blocks, joining and cutting out of the pockets, and the appendices resulting from the organization and approving projects for dividing lands intended for construction according to the conditions and procedures and the prices determined by the municipal council. Exchanging real estate belonging to the state from projects of organizational plots, residential, commercial, industrial, and other areas for real estate owned by individuals. Proposing lines defining the princely lands outside the areas where private ownership is permitted. Regulating building permits and engineering offices.
The Municipal Council is responsible for regulating all development projects and all kinds of projects for different sectors. We receive land allotment requests from different authorities, government authorities and ministries, and we study those requests in coordination with the municipality to issue those projects. We also review the regulations and bylaws issued by the municipality, and also we propose new regulations and bylaws to improve different practices. The municipal council basically structured into more than 12 different committees, 6 provincial committees for every government, and 6 technical committees like the environmental committee, the financial and legal committee, the engineering practices committee, where we receive all the transactions and we process them, we study them, and we issue the regulations.
In 1930, the late Emir Sheikh Ahmed Jabir al-Sabah was approached about Kuwait's need to establish a municipal council that would be elected by the people to supervise the development of Kuwait. At the time, the municipal council formed a new trend towards Kuwaitis' participation in the country's administration and laying the initial foundations for new regulations for governance and administration. In 1931, the municipal law was issued, and the first article of it stipulated that the municipal council would consist of 12 members in addition to the chairman. The second article specified that the chairman should be from the al-Sabah family and be appointed by the ruler, and the third article specified who had the right to vote, and the law specified the municipality's tasks and competencies. The municipal council was formed after the elections in 1932 from Yusuf bin Isa al-Jna'i, Mash'an al-Khdair al-Khalid, Sulaiman Khalid al-Atsani, Ali Sayyid Sulaiman, Muhammad Ahmed al-Ghanim, Nusuf bin Yusuf al-Nusuf, Zayd Sayyid Muhammad, Ahmed Ma'rafi, Hamad al-Dawood al-Marzouk, Marzouk al-Dawood al-Badr, Mshari al-Hussein al-Badr, and Yusuf al-Salih al-Hmaydi. The members elected Sulaiman al-Atsani as the director of the Kuwait municipality, and the honorary chairmanship was assigned to Sheikh Abdullah Jabir al-Sabah. The 12 men served in the first municipal, and among them Sulaiman al-Atsani was elected to be the mayor of the municipality. The honorary presidency of the municipality council was assigned to Sheikh Abdullah Jabir al-Sabah, and he was responsible for the decisions and provisions of the municipality. The first 2-year term of the municipal council ended and elections were held for the second term, with 200 Kuwaiti voters choosing the members of the second municipal council. The emergence of the Kuwait municipality in the year 1930 was the first opportunity for Kuwaitis to participate in an election. The experience represented a major turning point in the development of Kuwaiti society at a time when Kuwaitis were striving to set foundations and standards for the development and service of their society in order to keep pace with developments in the world and the countries surrounding them.
The municipal council consists of 16 members. 10 members are selected by the Kuwaiti people, and it is based on 6 election areas. A member for each area is selected, and the election term is around 4 years. So we have 10 elected members and 6 appointed members, and those appointed members are considered from the experienced and professionals in the field.
In 1931, the municipal law was issued, and its first article stipulated that the municipal council would consist of 12 members in addition to the president. The second article specified that the president should be from the ruling family, and the third article specified who had the right to vote, and the law specified the tasks and duties of the president. Before the end of the 30s, the position of municipality manager and other roles were created, and the tasks of the municipality developed to include many services and technical matters. At that time, the basic conditions for candidacy for memberships in the municipal council were determined, and the voting process was organized as the election period was set for 12 days. The late Emir Sheikh Ahmed al-Jabir put all his weight to facilitate the municipality's fulfillment of its duty. The municipality's tasks developed and its functions became specific, carrying out tasks of all ministries present at the time, and the tasks were in line with Kuwaiti society at that time. Since its inception, the municipality has had legal personality with its own authority, laws and regulations that apply to all citizens, and it has been an institution that interacts with society and meets its needs and demands. And the municipal council was playing the role of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling, while the municipal director and the executive body carried out the work, and with the days, the development of this executive body was in line with the development witnessed by the country at the time, and expanded to respond to the continuous increase in the needs of society and the expansion of the municipality's goals. In 1938, the Legislative Council was elected, which lasted only 6 months, when this council became dominant with the various services councils, including the Municipal Council, whose powers diminished and some of its members became members of the Legislative Council without combining the two memberships. In 1940, the municipality's executive body appeared, the administrative body developed, and new jobs appeared in the Kuwait municipality, including deputy head of the municipality. The director and body of inspecting homes, controlling account books, fees, and taxes, and employee salaries developed, and in 1947, a committee was formed to look into the schedule's employee salaries. In 1950, Sheikh Abdullah Salim decided to establish several councils that would take upon themselves the development of Kuwait and the implementation of urban, social, economic, and labor programs. He mentioned that the most important of these councils is the Construction Council, which appeared in 1952, and its main task was to plan the country and to study developmental projects in light of the financial boom. The council was the first central planning body in Kuwait, and the Construction Council had reduced the powers of the Municipal Council and even became some of its members. There were a number of municipal laws created, which include a set of laws regulating municipal work, including the 1954 law, which gave the municipality importance, as well as organized the administrative and technical work in it, and the municipality gained, according to this law, financial independence. The idea of establishing a construction council is due to a proposal made by Mr. Crichton, the British advisor in the Kuwaiti government. This council appeared specifically in 1952, when between 1952 and 1961, it assumed responsibility for replanning the Emirate of Kuwait and implementing projects referred to it by the state departments. Its members were the heads of service departments at the time, such as public works, finance, economy, endowments, knowledge, social affairs, and others. He added that starting in 1960, this council, by the order of the ruler, was transformed into the Council of Construction and Economic Development, where economic development was added to the old name, and that was the desire of the ruler to keep pace with the developments that occurred in the early 60s, foremost of which was Kuwait's readiness for the stage of independence, as Kuwait gained its independence on the 19th of June 1961. The ruler sensed the necessity of achieving development in Kuwait and the necessity of the council's contribution to it, and moving in turn to the broader and more comprehensive tasks at the beginning of the 60s, in order to achieve comprehensive development in the country in all economic, social, and political aspects, as well in light of those high oil incomes that Allah bestowed upon Kuwait, and the ruler's attempt to involve his people in his wealth and to rid of it difficult economic conditions it suffered since the mid-1930s. The Municipal Council is one of the oldest and most important state institutions due to its position on the development map, and it is the first and last gateway from which development projects emerge. The Municipal Council aims to explore future prospects for a new Kuwait and to achieve the lofty desire of His Highness the late Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed to transform Kuwait into a financial and commercial center, and the work to support the implementation of vital and developmental projects to enhance new tributaries of the national economy, which urges the need to confront the challenges facing the implementation and development of development projects through advanced and organized work.
I think now in 2021, the roadmap ahead, the municipality need a lot of development to comply with the new vision of New Kuwait. The municipality have done great things so far, but now we have to move on into a new era of municipality. With regard to two main issues, two main aspects. First of all, the sustainability, how to make the municipality sustainable, financially independent from the government, that it can sustain and self-sufficient. So we need to work on the services that the municipality provide and how to municipality get benefit from its role of licensing commercial and industries, commercial and investment area in Kuwait. I think this will be a good income for the municipality, will help us to be self-sufficient and to be independent organization and to develop itself by itself. The other thing is with regard to the governance, how to enforce the governance of Kuwait municipality. So we need to work on the Kuwait the municipality legislation, and we need to work on the processes of the good governance of the municipality, and also to try to fix how the decision making been set toward more integrity, more transparency, and also to raise the accountability of the municipality. All these issues become like a roadmap for us, and we need the municipality to go to that level of sustainability and governance.
The Municipal Council is one of the most important pillars of the development partnership in light of the increasing number of development projects and urban expansion, which requires the Council and its committees to play an active role in supporting the implementation of these projects, especially as it is the main gateway to receiving studies from all ministries and authorities in the country, and reviewing them in its sessions, then referring them to the executive body to be subject to the integrated technical study, and then be submitted to it for approval by its decisions, with what it deems appropriate, and then the project becomes executable. The Municipal Council has a major role in linking ministries, agencies, authorities, and government institutions concerned with the development and construction field. In recent years, it has had a prominent role in arranging and coordinating with concerned ministries to overcome all difficulties and remove obstacles related to the completion of development projects.
Municipal Council is responsible of monitoring, guidance, and planning of the country. It is responsible for the urbanization, taking into consideration the population growth. So all projects that we see in the country, the gate of those projects is the Municipal Council. So in the council we decide on the expansion of those projects, the urbanization and the modernization that has for the future. At the same time, we in the council responsible for the land allocations, the land use, the support for the other agencies, the other ministries to provide their services. If we go back from the 30s to now, taking into considerations the development that happened in Kuwait, taking into consideration the first fence, the second fence, and the third fence, and the Kuwait master plans. We had in Kuwait, we had the first master plan in the 50s, and the second in the 70s, and the third one in 2008. And the fourth one now it's in the final process to be produced. So the master plan responsible for the future project, the urbanization, considering the economical, social, environmental aspects, and the main factor is the population growth. So those projects, the future projects that are forecasted and mentioned in the government, let's say, roadmap for future projects are all listed in Kuwait Master Plan for the next 30 years.
The Municipal Council played the role of a central bank by supplying money, measures the adequacy of the currency in the market, replacing the unusable and damaged currency, and pumping more amounts into the money market. It is an indication of currency trading and the beginning of entering the world of finance, economy, and commercial exchanges, and that it actually started since the founding of the state, as well as the role of the Ministry of Health by issuing licenses for medicine and licenses for those with experience who carry out vaccination operations for the population. The Municipal Council played an institutional role in protecting the environment and hygiene, especially by warning slaughterhouse owners against throwing some sheep's wool and the remains of slaughtered animals on the roads, as well as organizing disposal operations and street sweeping operations. The 1962 Constitution was created during the reign of the late Emir, Sheikh Abdullah Salim, and it adopts a democratic system and states in its 6th article that the system of government in Kuwait is democratic. Sovereignty in it is for the nation, the source of all powers, and the exercise of sovereignty is in the manner set forth in this Constitution. The Constitution defines the relationship between the legislative authority, represented by the National Assembly, the executive authority, and its judiciary. It also stipulates the existence of an elected assembly for a specific time and defines the method of electing its members, so that after their election they become representatives of the entire nation. In the wake of independence, Law No. 1 of 1962 was issued, including the basic system of government during the transition period. It was a temporary constitution to be applied during the period preceding the issuance of the permanent constitution. The law assigned the Constituent Assembly the task of drafting a constitution for the country. The first article of the Provisional Constitution stipulates that the Constituent Assembly shall prepare a constitution that defines the system of government on the basis of democratic principles inspired by the reality of Kuwait and its goals.
The Kuwait Master Plan, it provides prediction for the future projects for the next 30 years, and it considers the all aspects and all facilities to be provided for the people, taking into consideration the population growth. It's very important to correctly predict the population growth. For example, in the third master plan, the prediction was to reach a population of 5 million in Kuwait by 2030. But in reality, we reached the population of 4.5 by 2020. So this changes in predicting the population growth caused a huge demand on the infrastructure that was not developed based on the master plan. So there should be compatibility between the future projects, let's say, of the ministries or the services that are supposed to be upgraded in the country, in addition to the upgrade in the population. So this lack is the reason for what we see in reality, for example, in the roads. At what we see in the, let's say, the services that are provided from the Ministry of Housing, let's say Ministry of Water and Electricity. Those services supposed to be compatible with also the population, the actual population that are using those services in reality.
We are in direct contact and cooperation with the Public Authority for Housing Welfare, where we allocate sites for residential and housing projects. We also, at this council, we try to propose new locations that are appropriate for residential and housing projects. The Municipal Council is the oldest council in Kuwait. It is here even before the Constitution. This council is 91 years old this year, and we work in parallel with the State of Kuwait structural plan. This plan is usually proposed by the municipality in coordination with all government entities and authorities to put an integrated and comprehensive plan for the next 20 years of Kuwait. This plan should meet the population growth and needs. This plan should include the infrastructure requirement for all different sectors, the industrial, the health and education, Now we are still waiting for the fourth State of Kuwait structural plan, and I really hope that this plan will adopt a sustainable vision for the future of Kuwait.
In the Council's meeting on February 27, 1962, during the discussion of the draft internal regulations of the Constituent Assembly, it was agreed that each of the Council's committees would consist of 3 members, except for the Constitutional Committee, which would consist of 5 members. The discussions of the Constitutional Drafting and the Preparation Committee witnessed a difference of opinions between the government team and the members, and most of the discussions revolved around the purpose of the Constitution. The committee discussed in detail all the details related to the Constitution, its components, chapters, and articles, the mechanism of governance, the state entity, the formation of the ministry, the number of members, nationality, the amendment of Article 2, and others. The Constitution Preparation Committee completed its work and referred the entire draft constitution to the Constituent Assembly for discussion and approval. The first task undertaken by the Assembly was to consider the draft constitution on August 12, 1962. In its session held on October 30th of the same year, the articles of the draft constitution were read out article by article, and then a vote was taken on the draft. It was approved by the members of the Council, and the draft constitution was unanimously approved in its session held on November 3, 1962. The chairman of the Constituent Assembly presented the new constitution to the late Emir Sheikh Abdullah Salim at Sif Palace on November 8, 1962. The Emir ratified the constitution 3 days after the date of its submission to him, and it was issued in the form approved by the Council. And it was published in the official Gazette the day after its issuance. Only 72 days after the adoption of the Constitution, on January 23, 1963, the first comprehensive elections were held in Kuwait to elect members of the National Assembly. This was an official sign of the start of political practice in accordance with the provisions of the new Constitution, as it was the opening through which the limits of the country's main powers were implemented, which are legislative, executive, and judicial. Kuwait has gone through constitutional experiences throughout its political history, from the adoption of its first constitution to its current applicable constitution. The first constitution, 1921, it is the first written constitution in the state of Kuwait and contains only 5 articles. An advisory council was established in the same year in implementation of this constitution, and the 12 members of the advisory council were chosen by appointment. The second constitution, 1938, this constitution was drafted by the Legislative Council, which was established in the same year. The 15 members of the Legislative Council are elected, and it is more developed than the previous constitution. The third constitution, 1961. This constitution was issued by the late Emir Sheikh Abdullah Salim to organize the work of the public authorities until the completion of the permanent constitution. The current fourth constitution, 1962. This constitution was prepared by the Constituent Assembly consisting of 31 members, 20 of whom are elected and the rest are appointed ministers. Sheikh Abdullah Salim ratified it without any amendment. Procedures for amending the constitution require the approval of the Emir and 2/3 of the members of the National Assembly, and if one of the parties rejects the proposal for amendment, an explanatory memorandum has been attached explaining the provisions of the constitution, and the memorandum is binding on the interpretation of the constitution. Kuwaiti women imposed themselves as an active element in the political scene and assured their position on the political map in the country, holding ministerial positions and membership in the national and municipal councils to be rightfully half of society through the exercise of their political rights. Kuwait's women's obtaining their political rights in a historic session in Abdullah Salim Hall in the Kuwait National Assembly on May 16th of 2005, which ended with the approval of 35 members to amend Article 1 of the Electoral Law to allow women to exercise the right to stand for election and to be elected. a day that has been known since the moment as Kuwaiti Women's Day. Since then, Kuwaiti women have taken the first steps of leadership and active participation in the political scene and the development of the country when the Council of Ministers announced in June of 2005 the selection of Engineer Fatma Saoud al-Sabah and Engineer Fawziya Muhammad al-Bahar for membership in the Municipal Council.
The women right, the women election right in Kuwait was granted in 2005. Since that time, everybody knows that the women participate on the election to nominate the delegate for the municipality council. Since 2005, we have a colleague, woman figure joined the municipality council, and they have, of course, good role. And actually, the issues of women was there in the municipality since the 1930s. So since the start of the municipality, all the women issues was there, and the family needs is there in the municipality. And we established, for example, a lot of projects that help the women in Kuwait. Beside that, the Kuwait municipality itself, it has succeeded in the women empowerment. We have deputy manager, engineer Nadia Sharide. She's one of the leaders of the municipalities, and also we have so many women figure and engineers working in the municipality. They have good position in the municipality. So I think as Kuwait municipality, we succeeded in the women empowerment. They are there in the core of the decision making of the municipality, and they are doing good roles. We have seen even in the field, you will see that inspectors coming from the municipality, part of them are women and employees in municipality. So the municipality actually rely on them, and they are doing good work actually. Yes.
Regarding the elections for the municipal council, we see less participation from the electors. Basically, maybe because people see this council as a technical council and people more interested in political councils. Usually the percentage of participation is 25% or less. However, I think that everybody should be interested in selecting who represent them in this council, because everybody in any time will have a transaction with the municipality and the municipal council, whether you're an individual or a company, private sector, public sector. Everybody in one day will have a transaction with the municipality and the municipal council, and they should be interested in who represent them in this council. Regarding the participation of women in the municipal council election, very few women ran for election in this council. None of them ever won the election. However, since 2005 till today, there were 6 women appointed by an Amiri decree, including me. And we hope that we see more women representation in this council.
The Municipal Council has a great role and an effective contribution to solving the housing issue that concerns a large segment of Kuwaiti society. The members of the Municipal Council are keen on the necessity of solving the housing file by expediting the implementation of housing cities and distributing them to citizens. The Council has over many years provided and allocated land for the Public Authority for Housing Welfare while continuing its work in the search for new sites that would contribute more to ending the housing crisis. This is what can be done to support the citizens in obtaining his home. The Kuwait National Development Plan, which follows the slogan of a unified direction for a prosperous, sustainable future, sets the nation's long-term development priorities. It is organized around 5 themes or desired outcomes and 7 pillars or areas of focus for investment and improvement. Each pillar has a number of strategic programs and projects that are designed to have the most impact on achieving the vision of a new Kuwait. 20 key global indicators are used to measure success, and additional sub-indicators will track and measure Kuwait's progress with the plan and its performance compared to other countries. Global indicator rank is out of a percentile of 100, 1 being at top of the rankings and 100 being at the bottom. Kuwait is aiming, in all indicators, for a position within the top 35% of countries by 2035. Kuwait's 2035 vision aims on transforming Kuwait into a financial and trade hub regionally and internationally, and become more attractive to investors, where the private sector leads the economy, creating competition and promoting production efficiency under the umbrella of a supporting institutional body which accentuates national values, preserves social identity, and achieves social development, as well as providing an essential structure to cultivate a business-friendly environment. This is based upon the vision of His Highness the Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, and the implementation of His Highness's vision in these regards. Kuwait also possesses the main elements to move towards achieving this vision. Main elements such as strategic geographical location, encouraging legislative body, comprehensive judicial system, and a balanced international foreign policy. This project uses global indicators to track and measure Kuwait's progress with the plan and its performance comparative to other countries, as well as setting goals and following up on the performances towards achieving the vision.
The new vision is very important to be compatible with the Kuwait Master Plan. So as I mentioned, the Kuwait Master Plan includes all future projects for the next 30 years. And the Kuwait New Vision for 2035, it's a vision for the future projects too. So what I noticed previously that there was a big diversity between the two plans. In reality, both plans supposed to be compatible because the actual implementations of the projects is in the Kuwait Vision 2035. In fact, the actual planning for implementing those projects and plans are in the Kuwait Master Plan. The both supposed to be compatible, and I think now the fourth master plan, they took into consideration the future actual implementation of the projects with the planned one in the Kuwait Master Plan. Most of our projects are related to the government agencies, but I would like to mention one issue on one major sector for projects, which is the housing projects. The housing issue is very important for the Kuwaitis, taking into consideration the young society that we have. If we look at the Kuwaiti population, 70% of Kuwaitis, they are under the age of 35. So it's the young society. So there is a huge need in the future in all fields. Housing is one of the major needs for the Kuwaiti families. So if we go to the Public Authority for Housing Welfare, they have a huge number of new applications and old applications, and the rate of those applications are increasing year by year. What we did here in the council is allocating locations for cities and suburbs to be submitted to the Public Authority for Housing Welfare. So in the council, we review actually the studies that are provided by Kuwait municipality for those locations. They should be sufficient and applicable for initiating those cities and suburbs. So we submitted cities in north of Kuwait, we submitted cities in south of Kuwait, and even the west. This is related to the housing, which is very important. And now we think that the Public Authority for Housing Welfare, they have areas that can build more than 200,000 housing units for the Kuwaitis. Now the problem is with the implementation, which is a responsibility for the housing welfare. From our side, we are not limited to the housing only. We are also responsible for allocating lands for other uses, like commercial, industrial, recreation lands. All those lands, it's supposed to be approved by the council first and then submitted to the responsible part or ministry in the government.
The municipality council, side by side with the Kuwait municipality, working as the backbone for the new Kuwait plan, starting from يعني trying to make the land available, and before that actually putting this plan into the master plan of Kuwait, that we have one governing development plan of Kuwait, the Kuwait master plan, and then trying to make all the land available. It's a long process to select the area. So we select the land and we allocate every use of this land. So we allocate the land use and the activities. All these kind of processes are required in the new Kuwait plan. And beside that, when the project is started in the new Kuwait, when they start to implement this project, so many challenges, let's say, and obstacles happened with regard to the licensing of municipality, or some coordination issues that been the project may face between different governmental body. And here in Municipality Council, we have done a lot of workshop trying to facilitate these issues, trying to ease these challenges and try to solve them. So we established so many workshops and meetings, putting everybody in one table, trying to fix the problem and to face the challenges. And we succeeded so far to facilitate most of the development projects, and our role was regarded by the Prime Minister in his speech in the Parliament, that the role of Municipality Council was critical into solving all the problem of the and challenges that the development plan may face now.
Kuwait's National Development Plan is linked to international goals and factors by adapting them to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2030 agenda in order to achieve compatibility between the National Development Plan and the International Development Vision. The government based this need and desire to acquire a development plan came at a time when the world has been witnessing local, regional, and international developments, which necessitated the development of a clear, ambitious, objective plan. The objectives of this plan were to raise government performance and channel national resources towards achieving the desired goals. The system includes an integrated system of development documents, including the 5-step process that has shaped the development paths of the state over the long term, through mechanisms, means, and projects to ensure the achievement of development goals in the long and medium term. The main aspirations of the vision include: restore the regional leadership role of Kuwait as a financial and commercial hub, and reviving the pivotal role of the Kuwaiti private sector in the leadership of development. To reconstruct the important and different positions as well as the bodies and institutions of the country, in addition to enabling work empowerment and productivity. Provide new infrastructure, appropriate legislation, and in enabling a business environment conducive to development and providing controls and climate to ensure total and balanced human resource development. Aiming on consolidating the values of society, preserving its identity, as well as achieving justice, political participation, and freedoms. Strategic developmental goals of the National Development Plans 2035. Increase local productivity and development of non-oil economic sectors. Improve standards of living for citizens. Engage the private sector into national economic activity of the country. Support human and social development. Improve residential policies to support development. Train and qualify national human resources. Enable government administration by restructuring government bodies. Preserve the values of the Arab Islamic identity. The pillars of the National Development Plan 2035 vision include: sustainable diversified economy, an effective civil service, sustainable living environment, developed infrastructure, high-quality healthcare, creative human capital, and global positioning. Everyone knows the importance of the role of the Council since the beginning of the period of Kuwait's modern history, as well as being the starting point for Kuwaiti democracy for decades. The Municipal Council also participated in the development process and in enhancing the process of participation in the formulation of policies and the development of plans and reporting of projects in all matters related to the functions of municipalities' urban, environmental, health, and other activities.